and thermal engineering. You can also refer that if you want. Okay, but this book we are referring most. Okay, thermal engineering by M.M. Rathod. So in the previous class, we have discussed the classification of IC, classification of engines. So first one is IC engine, internal combustion engine, and second one is external combustion engine. And this is classified on the basis of working fluid. If the working fluid is hot products of combustion or burning gas, then this is the IC engine. If not, it is AC engine. The examples of AC engines are steam engine, steam turbine. So you have studied this thing in EC1. Okay, all steam engines and steam turbine plants. So this you have studied in EC1. Okay, so we'll not consider this. So we'll mostly discuss on IC engine, internal combustion engines. And as I told you, the jet engine is example of IC engine because here the working fluid is hot process of combustion. Even though we are using here turbine, gas turbine. Even though here we are using gas turbine, it is an example of internal combustion engine because the working fluid is hot process of combustion. Then let us study now the working. Now this is just a little bit revision what we have studied in thermodynamics. Okay. So now what are the in various engine parts? So first one is piston, and second one is cylinder. Then these are the walls. So these walls are intake walls, and this one is exhaust wall. Okay. Then some nomenclature. This D is the diameter of the cylinder. L is the stroke length. L is a stroke length. And what is stroke? Stroke means the travel of the piston from one dead center to another dead center. That is a stroke. Travel of the piston from one dead center to another dead center is a stroke. Okay. Then these are the dead centers. Dead centers are those centers where piston reverses its direction. Piston reverses its direction. Okay. Then third, this part is connecting rod. So fourth. Then this one is because this one is crankshaft and this one is crank. Okay, and then here so this is a crankcase. This is a crankcase. So if you see here, we can divide this all engine parts into three categories or three types. Okay, so this is one. We call this as a cylinder head. Cylinder head. This one from here to here is cylinder block. And from here to here is crank. Okay, so these are the three main parts. Okay, now the cylinder head consists valves, wall actuation mechanism, spark plug in case of SI engine, fuel injector in case of diesel engine or CI engine. Then the cylinder block consists number of cylinders and piston arrangement and connecting shaft. And this crankcase will have crankshaft, and somewhere here oil sump, lube oil sump, lubricating oil sump. Okay, so these are the various engine parts. I think you are aware of all these engine parts. Anything is left? Yes? Any part is left? Someone can add if any part is left. Okay. Now, what is the stroke? Stroke is piston travel from one dead center to another. Okay, so that is a stroke. So depending upon this, you can classify four-stroke engine and two-stroke engine. Okay, four-stroke engine and two-stroke. And here we are using various cycles like Otto cycle and diesel cycle. Though these are thermodynamic cycle, we are considering is a mechanical cycle because that exhaust gases are thrown out of the cylinder. We call it as a mechanical cycle. But we are considering these two cycles, Otto cycles and diesel cycle. So that is another way of classification. Now four-stroke engines and two-stroke engine. In both the cases, one thermodynamic cycle is completed in four-stroke of the engine. And in case of two-stroke engine, it is completed in one stroke of engine. In completed in two-stroke of engine. Okay. So four-stroke of engine means what? Four-stroke of engine means two revolution. Means two revolution of the crankshaft. And two-stroke engine means one revolution of the crankshaft. Okay. So what are those strokes? Now strokes, different stroke. Okay. So first one is suction stroke. Second one is compression stroke. Third one is power or expansion stroke. And fourth one is exhaust stroke. Okay. So these are the strokes. Four strokes are there. But there are five processes. But there are five processes. What are those five processes? First one is as it is suction. Second one as it is compression. Then third one is combustion. Combustion. And fourth one is expansion. And fifth one is exhaust. Okay, so these are all five processes which is taking place during four strokes of the engine. And whether it happens in four-stroke engine or two-stroke engine, all five processes will take place. All five processes, process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4 and process 5. So all five processes will occur whether it is a two-stroke engine or four-stroke engine. Okay. So how it takes place? How it takes place? Now let us take first suction stroke. So during suction stroke, yes, can anyone explain what is suction stroke? Yes, roll number 39, Ajinkya. Roll number 39, Ajinkya. Are you there? Then roll number 59, Pratyusha. Avi, am I audible? Yes or no? Pratyusha, are you there? Roll number 60, Krishna.
Yes, sir.
What is suction stroke?
Sir, not sure, but I think when it is pulled out of the cylinder, so it creates a suction vacuum type.
What? Say it again.
Means like the top head is pull out of the cylinder, so it creates vacuum like that.
Okay, roll number 66, Moria. Yes, Moria.
I think that's what you said is correct.
Correct. You don't want to add from your side? Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
If you pull, 1 second.
Huh?
Sir, if you pull that piston out, because of the vacuum, it will create some suction.
Pulling up piston means what?
And I mean, pulling the piston out or moving it.
Piston out of. Okay. Yeah. Roll number 73, Sai Krishna. Is it correct? '88, Rakesh. '99, Shivesh.
Sir, section screw piston moves down toward the output center and pull one cord inside the piston.
123, Anshuman.
Yes, sir. Sir, in intake stroke, the inlet valves are opened controlled by the camshaft and the cams, and then the outside air comes in when the piston is down to the bottom dead center, and in the next stroke, the compression and combustion takes place.
Correct. Very good. Now see, those who are not very clear about this, you understand. What is suction stroke? In case of suction stroke, piston moves from top center piston moves from top piston moves from top center to bottom center. Okay, piston moves from top center to bottom center. Now if you look at this diagram, this is top center, this is top center. Piston moves from top center to bottom center, and because of wall actuation mechanism, this inlet wall is open. This inlet wall is open. So because of pressure difference between the atmosphere and the cylinder, inside the cylinder, vacuum means this air will start entering into the cylinder. Air is sucked in case of CI engine, and fresh charge, that is mixture of air and petrol, is sucked in case of petrol engine. So whole cylinder is filled completely with the mixture of air and fuel in case of SI engine. And in case of CI engine, it is completely filled with air. That is suction stroke. So piston is moving from top center to bottom center. Piston reaches here. Now piston reverses direction. Piston reverses direction. So at that time, now this intake wall is closed because of wall actuation mechanism. This exhaust valve is already closed. So piston moves from bottom center to top center, compressing the charge which is present inside the cylinder. That is compression stroke. That is compression. Piston moves from bottom center to top center. Okay. So pressure and temperature of the charge inside the cylinder increases. And theoretically, at the end of compression stroke, spark occur in case of SI engine. So because of that, combustion takes place. In case of CI engine, fuel is injected at the end of compression stroke, theoretically. So therefore, combustion takes place. And because of combustion, heat is liberated, temperature increases, pressure increases, and that will force this piston down. So there is force is applied on the piston. Force is applied on the piston, and then piston moves from top center to bottom center. So this is known as power stroke or expansion stroke. The piston moves from top center to bottom center in this case. So that is power stroke, and in this case again both valves are closed. Then piston reaches to bottom center. Now whatever burn gases are there present inside the cylinder, it is of no use. We have utilized all the oxygen present inside the cylinder. So now it has to be thrown out. So with the help of valve actuation mechanism, what we'll do, we'll open this exhaust valve. This intake valve is still closed. Now piston moves from bottom center to top center, forcing the gases from the cylinder to the atmosphere. Okay, forcing the gases from cylinder to the atmosphere. So that's why this is a mechanical cycle. The initial condition and final condition is not same, but we are considering same to simplify the calculation. Okay, we are assuming it. So this is a mechanical cycle. So piston is forcing the exhaust gases or burn gases, which is of no use, from this exhaust valve to the atmosphere, and that is taking place during exhaust stroke. Piston moves from bottom center to top center. So now for one stroke, if you see here, this one stroke, the crank rotation is 180 degree. Okay, crank rotation is 180 degree. Crank will rotate from here to here. So that is 180 degree crank rotation. And 180 degree of crank angle. Then next is again 180. Third one is also 180. This one also 180 degree. So how many revolution you need? You need 4 revolution. You need 2 revolution. 4 strokes, you need 2 revolution in case of 4-stroke engine. But during this, all 5 processes are taking place. Suction is there, compression is there, combustion is also there, expansion is there, and exhaust is there. Now, if you can achieve this in 2 strokes of the engine, then it is known as 2-stroke engine. You can achieve all the 5 processes in case of 2-stroke engine. So anybody having any idea about this 2-stroke? Yes, anyone? Yes? Can anyone tell me about the 2-stroke engine? How all these 5 processes will occur in 2-stroke engine? So in case of 2-stroke engine, there is only one revolution of the crankshaft. In case of 2-stroke engine, there is only one revolution of the crankshaft. That means was piston is moving from TC to BC, and then from BC to TC. And during this process, during this strokes, all 5 processes should occur. Now, if you look at here, in 4-stroke engine, now this is unproductive stroke, suction stroke is unproductive stroke. Similarly, exhaust stroke is also unproductive stroke. So we'll consider only these 2 strokes. We'll consider only these 2 strokes in case of 2-stroke engine, but we'll make some arrangement so that suction will also take place, exhaust will also take place. Unless you suck a fresh amount of air or charge, you cannot burn fuel. Unless you throw these exhaust gases or burn gases outside the cylinder, you cannot take a fresh charge inside the cylinder. Okay, so how to make arrangement? So first thing, we'll eliminate valve actuation mechanism or valves. So here there are no valves. In case of 2-stroke engine, there are no valves. But you have to make certain arrangement for the flow of fresh charge and burn gases. So instead of that, we'll use ports. Ports are nothing but holes made in the cylinder itself. And these ports are covered and uncovered by the piston itself. Ports are uncovered and covered by the piston itself. So if the port is covered by the piston, there is no flow from the port. If the piston, the port is uncovered, then there is a flow. So how it works then? How it works? So now this is a 2-stroke engine. So here what we did, now this is the exhaust port. This is the exhaust port. This is transfer port. The transfer, and this is intake port. Okay, and this is the piston. Now this piston has a crown like this. Now we are making the crown like this so that it will deflect the fresh charge. It will deflect the fresh charge. Now you can see these are the ports. Okay, these are the ports, and these ports are covered and uncovered by this piston itself. This transfer port and exhaust port is covered and uncovered by the piston itself. And somewhere here it is a top center, and somewhere here it is a bottom center. Okay. Now, when first stroke, let us say now the first stroke, that is piston moves from top center to bottom center. Top center to bottom center. So what is happening here? First, it uncovers this exhaust port. First, it uncovers the exhaust port. So whatever gases are there, that will go out from the cylinder to the atmosphere. So the exhaust process will take place. Then it uncovers this transfer port. So when it uncovers this transfer port and the piston is going down, so whatever is present there in the crankcase, that is force, its pressure increases, and here the pressure is less. So because of this pressure difference, the fresh charge or air, fresh air will enter from this transport port into the cylinder. So suction is taking place. Okay. And why the piston will go down? Why the piston will go down? If there is a combustion inside the cylinder from the previous charge, that will force this piston downward. So that means expansion is there. So this stroke, that is when piston is moving from top center to bottom center, mainly this is the expansion, because that is a productive stroke. Mainly it is a expansion. So we call this as a simple way, you can call it as a downward stroke. Or you can call it also expansion stroke. Expansion or power stroke. So during this, exhaust is also going on, some exhaust will take place, some suction is also taking place, expansion. Along with expansion, combustion is also there. Because of combustion only, there is expansion. Piston moves from top center to bottom center. Now piston reverses direction. Piston reverses its direction. So that is second stroke. Piston moves from BC, bottom center, to top center, bottom dead center, BDC to TDC or BC to TC. So during this, what is happening? Here, the pressure falls in the crankcase. So there is, therefore, the fresh charge will enter from the carburetor or from the air, from the atmosphere, air from the atmosphere into this crankcase. So suction is taking place in the crankcase. Suction in crankcase. Okay. And when this, at the same time, suction is also going on from this through this transfer port into the cylinder. Then whatever burned gases is there during this downward stroke, that is expelled because of upward movement of the piston. So exhaust is also going on. Then it covers this transfer port. So no more flow of fresh charge or fresh air into the cylinder. Then it covers this exhaust port also. So no more flow of the charge or of the gases from the cylinder to the atmosphere. So further movement of the piston, it will lead to the compression of the charge. So this is the productive stroke. Compression. So therefore this stroke is known as upward stroke or compression stroke. Okay, so during this two stroke, one thermodynamic cycle is completed. During this stroke, one thermodynamic cycle is completed or one mechanical cycle is completed. Is it clear? If you have any doubt, you can ask or you can write in chat box. I will read chat box also. Yes, have you understood? Yes, anyone, please reply. Yes, roll number 89. Ramvat. Ramvat what? Harshita.
Sir, do we use
Yes.
a valve at intake port?
Why?
Sir, because when the piston comes down, due to pressure increasing, the air will go outside of the intake port. Suction happens at the transfer port, and also the air will go outside of the intake port also, right?
Air will go outside of the intake port from
When the piston
crankcase.
when piston comes down.
Comes down. Yeah, that is possible. That is
So
possible.
we should use a valve there, right?
Yes, in some cases we are using walls also, but then we are not going in detail of all those things. Okay, that is
Okay.
possible. Okay, that is possible. But we have sufficient charge inside the crankcase. Okay, we have sufficient charge inside the crankcase. So, and moreover, if you see the pressure difference here, which pressure difference is taking place? Now let us take this case 1 and here 2. Now this pressure difference is greater than this pressure difference 1 and 3. Okay, so instead of moving in this direction, it will move in this direction. Okay, but if of course there are some arrangement by which you can provide walls also here. But we want to make this mechanism as simple as possible. Because if you are going for wall, then you need certain arrangement to operate that wall. Okay?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah, Harshani, are you there? Roll number 89.
Yes, sir.
समझ में आया? Have you got it? Any doubt?
So I'm roll number 1, Harshini. Sir, I'm
Roll number?
1, Harshini. Sir, roll
Roll
number
number
89
1.
is Harshita. Yes, sir.
Okay. Roll number 1. Have you understood? Any
Yes,
doubt? No doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, this is just revision. I think you have learned all this thing earlier also. Okay, so this is one way of classification. 4-stroke and 2-stroke. Whether it is a 4-stroke engine or 2-stroke engine, all 5 processes will take place. That is suction, compression, combustion, expansion and exhaust. And now if you see the benefit of this 2-stroke engine, so here you are getting 1 power stroke per revolution. While here you are getting 1 power stroke per 2 revolution of the crankshaft. So theoretically, same size engine, let us take 100cc engine. So in case of 100cc engine, this 2-stroke engine is giving you almost double power than 4-stroke engine. Let us say 100cc engine, it is giving you 10 kilowatts of power, 4-stroke engine. So theoretically, this 2-stroke engine will give you 20 kilowatts of power. Now, as a mechanical engineer, now suppose if I ask you to design any engine, you will design only for three criteria. The first one, whenever you design any machine or any engine, especially prime mover, so engine, so you will design it for maximum power. You will design it for maximum efficiency. And nowadays, one more is coming, that is emission, minimum emissions or pollution. This is one more character, but as a mechanical engineer, you will think about this: maximum power and maximum efficiency. So if the power is maximum, then efficiency is also maximum, provided you supply same amount of energy. What is efficiency? Efficiency is output divided by input. So for same input, if you are producing more output, then efficiency will be higher. Okay. Now, as I said, here you are getting one power stroke per revolution, while here you are getting one power stroke per 2 revolution. But now if you see nowadays, we have stopped using this two-stroke engines. Generally we use two-stroke engine for motorcycles, bikes, scooters. But now almost all the manufacturers, two-wheeler manufacturers have shifted from two-stroke to four-stroke engines in their two-wheelers applications. Now, as a mechanical engineer, you are getting benefit. Moreover, the mechanism is simple. You have eliminated wall actuation mechanism. That means you have reduced the cost. You have reduced the friction. So all those things are there. But then why we have moved from two-stroke to four-stroke? Yes, anyone? And this is a challenge, big challenge for mechanical engineer. When you can get maximum power from with two-stroke, why to move towards four-stroke? Yes, somebody said it very correctly that emissions, more pollution. Now, why there is more pollution? You can write in chat box. You can also say why there are more pollution in case of two-stroke engine. Yes, please write in the chat box, or you can answer.
Sir, because mixing of exhaust and fresh air takes place in two-stroke engine, there is a chance of
Chance of what?
mixing exhaust gases and fresh air entering from other side, and there is a
Yeah,
less proper combustion.
yeah, correct.
So
Any,
more pollution emission in that case.
yes, correct. Okay, now if you look at this diagram, why the screen is not moving, I don't know. Okay. Now, if you look at the diagram, for some time, both ports are open. For some time, both ports are open. When both ports are open, both ports mean transport port as well as exhaust port. So there is a chance of this fresh charge going directly from the transport port to the atmosphere to the exhaust port. That is the wastage of fuel. Moreover, when this comes out without taking part in combustion, it is treated as a pollutant, that is unburned hydrocarbons. That is unburned hydrocarbons. So that is treated as a pollutant. So that is one thing. Okay, now when this comes out, it comes out like this directly from this. So this is known as short circuiting. So without taking part in combustion, it comes out as it is. That is the wastage of fuel, and it will increase the pollution, especially unburned hydrocarbons. Second one is the process of expansion, where the expansion process is terminated very quickly. The expansion means combustion. So combustion duration is less. So as combustion duration is less, hydrocarbon is not getting converted fully into CO2 and H2O. So some hydrocarbon remain unutilized, again increasing unburned hydrocarbon, and some is not burned completely, so that increases CO emission. And these are the regulated as per emission norms. These are regulated as per the emission norms. Now, which emission norms is applicable in India right now? It is
BS6.
BS6. Now, this is Euro 6 only, but we have modified as per Indian condition, and we call it as a Bharat Stage 6. So this is applicable, and then that engine will not meet this emission norms. So if the engine, even though now as a mechanical engineer, you build a factory for two-stroke engine or two-stroke vehicle, and you have started producing two-wheeler with a two-stroke engine, and which is giving almost double power output than four-stroke engine. But then if it is not meeting these norms, you cannot sell that vehicle in Indian market, because the government of that country regulate this norms. So as per that norms has to be, the stringent emission norms has to be followed by that industry. So that is the reason. But now if you think about CI engine, in case of CI engine, only air is sucked. Even though there is a short circuiting, only air will go out from this exhaust port during this stroke. So because of short circuiting, there is no issue. Only problem is that the expansion stroke is somewhat lower. That may increase little bit of CO and SC emission. But then as a mechanical engineer, if you take this as a challenge, and if you go for two-stroke diesel engine, so by this you have eliminated this short circuiting issue. And if you can go for sufficient combustion duration, by which whatever this diesel is burned completely and converted into H2 and CO2, then definitely this engine can meet this higher emission norms, BS6 norm. So as a challenge, you can take this and try to develop tools, because this is a very good engine. As I said, we are designing an engine for maximum power. Isn't it? Suppose if you go to if you want to purchase any vehicle, any two-wheeler, go to some showroom of different manufacturers, and then let us say at the cost of 50,000 rupees, you are getting one vehicle with 10 kilowatts of power output and another vehicle with 20 kilowatts of power output, keeping the fuel economy almost same, let us say. Then definitely you will prefer this, because this will give you good acceleration, good pickup. You will have thrill, isn't it? So definitely you take this as a challenge and try to come with some solution, so that this diesel engine, two-stroke diesel engine, will also meet this emission norms and will also give benefit in terms of power output, so that the consumer will get benefited. So this is one way of classification, two-stroke and four-stroke. Now, as I said, there are two types of engine, that is petrol engine and another one is diesel engine. Okay. So now this is another way of classification, and this is known as spark ignition engine, SI. Spark ignition. And this is CI, that is compression ignition. Okay. So this is another way of classification. And in case of SI engine, we use petrol as a fuel. And in case of diesel, in case of CI engine, we are using diesel as a fuel. And how we are classifying? We are classifying on the basis of method of ignition. Which method we are using? Or ignition. So here we are using one device, one external agency or one device, we call it the spark plug. And here we are not using spark plug. So we are what we are going with compression. So with the help of compression only, we are achieving a required temperature. So that is self ignition temperature of fuel. So self ignition temperature of fuel is achieved by compression. While here we achieve the self ignition temperature by igniting spark. There will be spark, and because of that spark, the local temperature becomes greater than the self ignition temperature of fuel. This petrol has a higher self ignition temperature, approximately 350 to 400 degrees centigrade, while diesel has around 250 to 300 degrees centigrade temperature. So here we are using petrol which has higher self ignition temperature. Here we are using diesel which has lower ignition temperature. So this temperature, this fuel will not burn at lower temperature than this. So that means first you have to achieve this temperature inside the cylinder. Then only you can burn that fuel. Okay, then only you can burn that fuel. Similarly, if you take the example of lighting the candle, then you can hold that matchstick there for certain time so that it reaches to particular temperature. Then only that candle will light it. Candle lighting will be there. In similar way, you have to do this. Okay. So if you have any, we'll continue this in next class. If you have any question, you can ask, or you can write in chat box. So there is no question, that means you have understood everything. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Okay, because this is somewhat theoretical. So once you understand this, then everything will be easy, because most of the automobile company will ask the question on this. So if you understand it quickly, understand it better way, then you can answer all those questions. Okay. So if there is no question, then I will end the class.